Pramana, the experience of millions of disciples, devotees, followers all around the world, initiated by Bhagavan. Through all these darshans and boons, Bhagavan initiates, graces us with all these great ways where the power manifestation happens in each one of us. Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. The thoughtless space that everybody is running all over the world to experience the peace, the thoughtless space. Here, measurably, we can see that for Balasans, his disciples, and Bhagavan himself have demonstrated scientifically that thoughtless space happens whenever you are doing your power manifestations. Beautifully, Bhagavan starts with a Shastra Pramana. The Shastra Pramana are the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Vedas and the Agamas. The Shastra Pramana for the power of mind reading is from the Shiva Sutra 1.15.
Pramana are the unchangeable.
From the Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.15. Hridaye chitta samghatad दृश्यस्वापदर्शनम् हृदये चित्तसंघातद् दृश्यस्वापदर्शनम्.
Bhagavan Paramashiva says, when the individual mind is united to the core consciousness, every observer or the objective phenomena and even the absence of the very objective phenomena is directly experienced as a form of consciousness and appears in its existential reality as it is. Bhagavan says each sutra can be a religion by itself. So powerful they are when we understand the steps that are given here beautifully to us having our conscious breakthrough. The whole space, conscious serenity to happen as our reality. The greatest science that Bhagavan has given us to understand when we let go the root patterns, the ideas, what we perceive in the outer world. Bhagavan beautifully gives an example of a wave. How an ocean has so many waves, but one wave decided to take the pebbles and sand and try to build a castle and have subways, small waves, and have live there eternally ever after. But is it possible? Even in a minute, it will be merging into the ocean. Same thing, all of us, the one thing is certain, which is truth, which is reality, which is certain for each one of us, is the death. How we are all happy when we go into the sleeping state. Everybody in the world is happy about one thing, is sleep. Same way Bhagavan says, everybody has to go through the death. But understanding the death, how Nachiketa understood the death, success in life is the only reality. How death can be success in life? One who understands death understands life, because you understand the bigger picture, how you experience the higher reality. That which is not there is what is dying, and it's like a shadow. It comes and goes. It's like a mirage. It is never there, but we think it is there and it goes. Bhagavan says there is no birth and death. It is itself a delusion. You are eternally present and eternally available. There is nothing as you have something other than the eternal. So all of us, if we understand that very observable and objective phenomena, and even the absence of every objective phenomena is directly experienced by the consciousness, whether you are eating or the process of eating or the food itself or you itself, everything is quantum. Everything is happening in the quantum as reality. But we give a label, a name, a form, and try to bind by that. We are bound by all the labels that we are given, which drops us from what we are as consciousness. More and more we align to Paramashiva's space in us. What happens if I remember Paramashiva in me again and again? I am more aware. The awareness just engulfs awareness and becomes aware of everything. That is the most beautiful space when we let go the incompletion and make it redundant. How whatever happened in the previous birth, we have no idea. Whatever happens in our dream, we are okay with that to drop it. Even if somebody had slapped us or some vehicle has run over us, we don't have any problem. We get up and are normal as we are. But whatever happens in this world, we think that is a real. That is where we make a mistake, Bhagavan says. Hold that understanding that the perception is wrong. The way we perceive is the whole problem. How we exist as a quantum, a Shiva, as the pure space of oneness. If you're in oneness with your hands and legs, you don't hurt each other. You are very compassionate. If one of them doesn't work, the other is supporting completely and makes sure the other functions so beautifully. That's why Bhagavan says, if you understand how your microcosm works, you know how the macrocosm works. If you know, go beyond that emotion that you are holding with anything outside, then you can have the control over any of the oceans outside. Beautifully, Bhagavan gives the great signs how to function and how to experience the higher reality. And even a glimpse of 3 to 4 seconds, we can experience the oneness and start growing into consciousness. And now, Apta Pramana. Apta Pramanas are the Leelas of the Avatar. Such a beautiful avatar, Krishna avatar, where he shows to Yashoda many times his mouth, where he shows the universe. Like how we see on the television, he's able to show and engulf her. She goes into samadhi and she goes into the space of complete oneness with Krishna to experience that truth. But after that, Krishna cries, she comes back as a mother and tries to take care of him, forgetting everything. That is the Maya's job, the delusion job. Delusion and liberation is happening to us all the time. It is we who choose what we want. Now, Bhagavan himself beautifully explains the signs in Atma Pramana.
I felt somebody was intently looking at me. I just turned. I saw Amsananda Swami only. He was only staring at me. Too strongly. He was staring at me. I asked him, why you are looking at me like this, Baba? He said, when you were explaining intensely, I understood whatever you are sharing, it is directly from your experience. So I wanted to look in. Whatever is in your inner space, I just wanted to grasp. When I looked in, I saw it's a whole cosmos opening. I got frightened. You turned towards me. He said he was trying to look into me to understand this whole verse as it is from my inner space. But in my inner space, he only saw the cosmos. He got frightened. The moment he got frightened and started losing himself, I just turned my head. He said, I can see very clearly. Everything is from directly your own experience. These people are blessed. He was telling about the few of the devotees who were listening. He said, these fellows are blessed. Agnena yasupadaraye asman vishwani deva vayunani vidvan yuyot yasmajjuhuranamena bhuyishtam denama uktim videma. Listen. Agni is the knower of all our actions, and all that is worth knowing in the universe he knows. Please understand. Anywhere knowledge happens, Agni has to be there. Without Agni, knowledge cannot happen. All the spaces, planets where Agni is not possible, knowledge is not possible. The modern day scientists are searching and trying to find if there is a place with water, human beings will be there or aliens will be there. I tell you, no. If there's a place where Agni can happen, only there life can happen, knowledge can happen, nowhere else. Only where Agni can happen, knowledge can happen, life can happen. Nowhere else. Agni. Who is knower of all our actions and everything worth knowing. Whatever is worth knowing in the planet Earth, Agni knows it. He knows it. The Upanishadic rishis are addressing Agni as knower of all our actions and all that is worth knowing. Then they pray, you must take us along the righteous and auspicious path of completion. You must take us. Please understand. The prayer is not casual, very deep, detailed. You must take us along the righteous and auspicious path of completion. Subhadharaye asman vishwani deva vayunani vidvan. You must take us.
Beautiful. Manifesting.
Beautifully, Bhagwan explained how the science of consciousness, when you understand the higher realities, you can understand the bigger picture and things fall in place so easily. Agni is the pure knowledge where we start experiencing the oneness and understand the highest reality. Here, the power of mind reading, this devotee has shared how she saw the flag, the line, the eye, silver string, everything with respect to the plane or features. And this Paramashivoham level 2 participant had the mind reading this picture very clearly and so beautifully she has described the whole detail. Manifestation is the way we need to exist. That is not supernatural. That is the very nature of each one of us. The very nature how we exist. But unfortunately, we are caught up with the societal norms, have forgotten the science. How we started living is to carry our load and continuously live with a load. Bhagavan beautifully says a story how the Zen master carried a woman across a river, and the other disciple was so upset. How can you carry her? And he stayed like that without asking the Zen master till the end of the day. And the end of the day, he asked the master, why did you carry a woman? We are not supposed to touch a woman. And he just went by the words, but the Zen master beautifully answered. He said, I carried her for few seconds, you carried her for few hours. Who is that who's carrying more? Each one of us carrying our identity, thinking it is going to benefit us. It is not going to benefit us in any way, Bhagavan says. All we need to do is surrender that and experience the oneness. Paramashiva leading us as our reality. We can experience the ultimate gift, ultimate reality, the higher science. Letting go our school, we go to college. Letting go our college, we go to start work. Each of the dimension that we know already, and every night we let go our identity. We don't know whether we are a male or female. We are sleeping like a ghost without a body in the deep sleep, simply like a ghost. That what Bhagavan says. How we exist in the deep sleep and how we exist in the dream state, if we understand clearly and understand about the death, we will see more into the conscious sovereignty as our purpose of life. And that is the very core, and that is what is the lifestyle going to be for us in the coming years soon, that Bhagavan has blessed all of us to live as conscious sovereignty as our reality, as the first priority in our life. Here we are going to manifest the power of mind reading. So if you have a partner, that's wonderful. If you don't have, you can call somebody and tell them you're going to read the pictures in their mind. It can be pictures, words, or whatever the cognition is. And simply Paramashiva will give you the details when you get the approval from that person to read. It goes by the authenticity. So Have a pen and paper. Do not question anything. For this session, no gadgets other than recording purpose and no thoughts at all. Mind is a processor. It can do whatever, putting you into different states of consciousness. But no thoughts. Any thought, tell very clearly. No thinking, no idea, views, opinions, judgments, anything which personifies you, drop that. Anything personify, anything that you know, drop that also, Bhagavan says. He says in the 30 days of enlightenment, drop everything, everything as burnt away. And what will be left is you, the pure essence of Paramashiva. Like that, drop everything that you know and you remember as you. Just as Bhasma, how we apply the ashes and simply understand you are consciousness, you are the quantum, you are the awareness, you are the Paramashiva who is manifesting as Parashakti every moment in you, making you speak, making you listen, making you understand the higher reality. So whatever you are revealing, write it down immediately. Do not judge. Oh, I'm thinking of only a tap problem or a food problem or my kids or my spouse. Write down. No, it doesn't matter. Paramashiva is showing you that. Write down. Everything write down as Paramashiva shows. And suddenly you'll start seeing even the mind reading part just clearly mentioned by Paramashiva. So let's get into the meditation, deep meditation for a few minutes. Bhagavan has himself designed this manifestation session for us to experience the higher reality, for each one of us to experience the Paramashiva space. Now sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Visualize Paramashiva, Parashakti Devi herself with 25 heads and 75 eyes, aware, alive, and 50 hands with all the items, all the weapons that she holds with such a grace and such a beautiful smile, and her gestures, all the things that you can imbibe in you as Parashakti. Hold that in your inner space for a few minutes. An absolute unclutching from everything. Everything is a dream. Everything doesn't even exist the way we perceive. Hold that powerful cognition in you for a few minutes. We are always thinking, always thinking. If you get thoughts run away, come back again, unclutch from it and chant the Mahavakya. When you entangle with Bhagavan continuously and chant the Mahavakya and merging into the oneness, surrendering everything who you are and only being Paramashiva, becoming Bhagavan himself, sitting there just like him. And such a joy, such a bliss, such a auspiciousness. You're not just doing the mind reading, it is also clearing all your root patterns inside you and bringing auspiciousness and abundance. All these power manifestation is designed for the higher reality, for us to become the conscious being, the superconscious being. All these balasans, throughout the day, they manifest powers. Whether it is eating, whether it is puja, whether it is yoga, it is either bending the body or materializing or Ashtama Shaktis. This is what their lifestyle is. They don't even define those as regular activity, but they only call it a power manifestation. Live that beautiful space of oneness with Paramashiva, forgetting there's anything else in the world. Continuously, when you're holding that space, till it becomes Ajaba Ajaba. Ajaba Ajaba is something you don't chant, you start listening. The beautiful space, that inner voice that you can listen as Ajaba Ajaba, as Maha. On inside, a deep listening of the Mahavakya. Hold that space of oneness and continuously take the bhava of Paramashiva manifesting as reality in you, bringing the auspiciousness and abundance. Sit straight, put away your gadgets, continuously get into the space of oneness. All of us, hundreds of them manifesting the powers of Paramashiva right now. Experience the oneness with Paramashiva, chanting the Mahavakya for the power of mind reading.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Such a beautiful space. Now you can open your eyes and go ahead and verify whatever partner you have done the mind reading. Do it authentically. It's pretty simple. When you connect to people, you just know it. How you connect your leg and hands. Everything is part of oneness. The space of oneness is the ultimate currency, Bhagavan says, in the cosmic conscious sovereignty. That everything is connected, everything is oneness. And simply if you imbibe that with a humble attitude, Bhagavan says, you will simply understand. Those days there was no telescope, microscope, there is no scope except the Paramashiva surrendering to the Guru's lotus feet. When they do that, simply they get the revelation of any of the herbs, any of the galaxies, any of the lokas beyond the galaxies. The Bhagavan says science only knows length, breadth, depth. There's something called time and space, the next dimensions, which they do not take into consideration because they don't know how it happens. And Bhagavan says so beautiful. The great rishis, they knew all the herbs is because they just surrender to the herbs, the whole humble space where they don't have the identity. They become the herb. Once you become the herb, you know what you are. And that revelation happens to you. Whether it is a book, whether it is a building, whether it is some HTML code, Bhagavan says, I just surrender to it and it imbibes into me as reality. How a great concept to learning. There is so many types of learning, and this is the extraordinary way where we just can imbibe. The mind reading is just like that. If you start understanding that you are Paramashiva, start cognizing, start holding the inner space that you are Paramashiva, then simply you can experience the oneness with anyone and remember whatever that Bhagavan is showing as reality. You will start experiencing the highest truth. All we need to do, oh, it's not happening for me. It is like Ayurveda, science of our manifestation. You start manifesting every single day and you start doing that. When you started walking, you didn't come for the walking session one day and go back and say, no, today is not my day. Every single day you fell 100 times, but you stood up and walked. When you started eating, you were putting all over your face, but you didn't stop it. You didn't say, oh, I'm shy, I look funny. You simply said to go till that happens. That is will persistence. As a child, we had it. But as adult, we are losing it because of our outside knowledge, thinking there's something else in the world more important and more reasonable for us to understand as reality. But this is the most reasonable, most authentic, and most the way we understand even our breathing. That is why Bhagavan says, if you understand your microcosm, you'll understand the macrocosm also. How we exist is a manifestation. If we understand the deeper science, we can manifest anything and everything. We don't have the death and the birth cycle. We are in oneness with Paramashiva, the most beautiful space, melting you into the honey and the nectar. That is the space that you can experience. The more you start melting in the oneness with Paramashiva, you don't want to get out of it. And simply the manifestation happens. Bhagavan says, Kailasha happens as my side effect. He has no idea even that is happening. He is such melting space with Arunagiri Yogeshwara. He says he is one with him and he has no idea what else happens in the outside him. And simply you can experience that when you are in such a space, not having a doubt, not having a confusion, constantly struggling with your life because of it does not exist. That is why we struggle. We cannot get satisfied because it does not exist. How can you get satisfied of things which does not exist? If you build a castle in a dream, it doesn't satisfy us. It's exactly the same thing. Everything we perceive is just a dream. So how can it satisfy us? How can it fulfill us? All we need to experience the oneness with Paramashiva, which will manifest all these great things, what you are come here for, automatically and much more, without you stopping any of it. And Bhagavan says, you are the Brahmanya Bahuputratam, you are the inheritance of the cosmos. You are the greatest happening on planet Earth. If you are listening to these words, you are that. Even if you have stepped in the first time, you are that. Because you're here only because Paramashiva blessed, because someday you had earned for it and you experience it right now. So with that context, sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line. Sit as Parashakti, Devi herself, again and again, in such a deep oneness, melting in her. Simply if you are visualizing lying down on a lap and mother is taking care, how would you feel? Or she's feeding you, how will you feel? That's exactly how you just merge into her. She is taking care of every moment of each one of us individually and so beautifully. So you can call your partner and tell, either you can scan for something in particular. People have asked for exam results and exam marks and all kinds of things. You can scan for anything, and you can scan somebody for some healing, anything that they want. It also clears their cognitive shift. It happens in their brain. It heals them in the root pattern, getting them out of all the traumas and struggles and confusions. So mind reading is not just reading somebody's mind, but also Bhagavan is entering in their mind. So auspiciousness and abundance fills in their mind. So you can ask them and write down all the details. And when you finish the Mahavakya, you will be in such a beautiful space. You can ask them to reveal whatever they had it in the mind. It will exactly match what you have written. You will be so shocked and surprised that even you are Paramashiva. Yes, you are. Even if you don't manifest, Bhagavan says, you are Paramashiva. Just experience that. That is all is power of manifestation. Let's chant the Mahavakya. Go into the oneness with Paramashiva. Absolute unclutching from the thoughts. Nothing other than what you are here right now. Do not entertain anything. Cherish anything. However difficult it is, just unclutch. We do that every night. So we know it very well. Unclutch from everything, any pain, any incompletion, anything that is a dream. You're entering into the Satya Loka where only Paramashiva exists and only you exist. Just you and him. Experience the oneness and chant the Mahavakya, melting into him, and see what happens as reality. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya with a deep listening.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Jnanam, Om Jnananda Paramashivoham, 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 Om Jnananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Jnananda Paramashivoham, 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 Om Jnananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes.
Paramashivoham.
Let the Amrita pour. Let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes.
Paramashivoham.
Let the Amrita pour. Let the Varni open up.
Paramashivoham.
Manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Superb. Whatever Paramashiva, Parashakti has given as prasada, please open your eyes and find out from your partner whatever you did mind reading is exactly which matches with what Parashakti revealed. Many a times even they don't know, but it's the deep innate how they would have thought about it, but they have forgotten in what they are doing. So sometimes it is not misleading, but actually they will come back and call you up and tell. Many a times I've heard they call back and say, "Yeah, exactly, I thought, but when you told me, I did not think about that. So I got confused," because there's a time lag. And simply they say, "Exactly, how did you know? I was in my heart, I was thinking about that." And it was so shocking that you came to know about it, that you got the right thing. Many a times it happens that even the deeper that what they are thinking, you can simply see it as Parashakti reveals it. And also bringing so much of abundant auspiciousness, even if you experience for few seconds. Bhagavan says, 3 to 4 seconds you can experience the oneness with Paramashiva, and 21 seconds, it's not minutes. That is why it is easier than a blink of an eye, enlightenment is. 21 seconds we can keep it together without any thoughts, we can experience the enlightenment, the conscious sovereignty as our reality itself. Understanding the higher science, how we exist and how we function, is the very core purpose why we came to planet Earth. Not to have another death and birth and delusion, but to live as conscious sovereignty as our reality. Again and again, raising to only that purpose, living only for that purpose, declaring that only conscious sovereignty is a way of lifestyle, way of thinking, way of manifesting, way of everything. That brings us to the lotus feet of Bhagavan. How Bhagavan wants each of us to flower into the ultimate reality. Surrender everything that you know and you have cognized and you have experienced due to Bhagavan's lotus feet and share with the humanity. Why do I need to share? Only when I share, I am speaking about it. As long as you're just listening, you're listening randomly. If you write you're listening, you can't read it yourself. That amount of confusion. But when you're speaking, you listen to it authentically. That is why demonstration and sharing is a very important step. When you are sharing and you are excited about it, even a child walks for the first time, the mother is so excited. That is how you be excited about paramanifestation as conscious sovereignty as your reality, even as a glimpse, even if you had a Kundalini energy experiences. Please share it with the world and thank Bhagavan for showering us and holding us continuously till we are going to get manifested into the reality. Such a compassion, uncompromised compassion that he has in spite of what we are, throwing tantrum and irresponsible and what not. Just take 5 minutes to share in tinyurl.com/powermanifestation or in your social platforms and tag it to your friends and families. They will understand. If you are consciousness, they are consciousness also. If you are matter, they are matter. And that's where the confusion starts. If you are in the space of oneness, go ahead and share everything. They will bless you. And they will also feel enriched and they would also want to come and see Bhagavan and manifest powers. That is the reality, that the existential reality. Bhagavan says extreme manifestation is extreme causing. Simply everybody will surrender to you when you understand you are consciousness. Because everybody is a reflection of you. If you believe yourself 100%, everybody have to believe you. What a science, what a great thinking and thought currents that Bhagavan has given. Surrender everything to Bhagavan's lotus feet. And if you see a $sign, you can offer to contribute to Bhagavan Kailasha. That is the ultimate thing that we can give is Sarvapari Tyagi. When we offer everything to Bhagavan as our self, we start experiencing the ultimate oneness with Paramashiva. It's not just a currency, but also our integrity, our authenticity, holding that as conscious sovereignty as the highest reality and surrendering everything else as Sarvapari Tyagi. Even if you offer $1, a unit of your currency, it will go a long way to manifest all the reality for you. It is the science. That's why all the temples have the hundi. First thing we go is offer something and then go to the Garbha Mandir. That is the way we start expanding our consciousness, our inner space as Kailasha, each one of us. So with thanking each and every one of you, thanking Bhagavan, in the deep gratitude and earning to make Paramashiva as my reality, let's end this session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Paduka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much. See you after the next satsang, next darshan.